So thank you so much, everyone. I'm very happy and I'm very honored to have Nikki Dutta. She is from, saying hello from London. So we have a special guest and we are all happy here to receive. So Nikki and I connected, basically online. And I just know her energy is amazing. She has also Facebook metaphysical spiritual group, and it's amazing as well. And so through there, somehow I feel that I have met her in another lives as well. Nikki is an international psychic medium and a spiritual teacher. She has courses and things that she does, but also her main purpose of lifetime is expansion of consciousness and help others to like-minded humans to do the same. She works as a medical intuitive. I love that. And works as a healing energy and help clients. Nikki is active operational remote viewer. That is what we're going to talk about it today. And she works with holistic healing methods with her clients and students. Her works extend from many ways of metaphysicals and many teachers and many studies through the way. And she also have worked with both called and missing cases with police, which I hope we will be able to speak about that today a little bit. She is a natural healer, intuitive reading, and channeler as well. Nikki is certified as an NLP, CBT therapist, and quantum healing practitioner too. And she works in the hypnotic trance stage with her clients as well, past life regressions, which everybody in this group is very much knows about it. Nikki has done her training in Arthur Findlay College in London College of Psychic Studies, and also has taught in the London College of Psychic Studies. And is certified advanced mediumship for her mentor, Gordon Smith, which is one of the most, well-known, renowned mediums. And there are so many YouTube videos about him, but it's so difficult for me to understand. The YouTube videos are such a little bit low quality, but it's amazing if you can watch their videos if you are interested in mediumship. And also, she is an operational remote viewer from ECRV in the United States. Let us know what is that as well. Also, she has a lot of experience with remote viewing. That is what I'm going to talk about in my television series, Age of the Wonders, Police Works, and how it's connected with our spirituality. I'm so excited about this topic. So if you need to go early, I think we are telling you right now that the conversation might expand a little bit longer if we need to talk about it, because I don't want to miss the opportunity to speak about all these topics, because it's really impressive. And thank you so much, Nikki. Welcome with all this group of Aussies, an international group, not necessarily. It's a group of Europeans, Latinos, Germans, and Australians.
Thank you. Thank you, Claudia, for, first of all, inviting me, because it's an honor. It's an honor to do something with a soul sister, because that's how I've always felt about you too. I think like-minded people connect really well, and the resonance is really strong. So, right. So basically, I just wanted to, I know that, Claudia is really excited with anything to do with remote viewing, or, how it is linked with, spiritual purposes, or rather, how it actually connects with spirituality itself. I think I can just give a little bit of stuff of like the background. I mean, Claudia's given the background already, but I heavily work with, I'm at the moment, I'm doing a lot of assignments, which is to do with remote viewing, and some that I could really discuss that has happened. Okay. Some I won't be able to fully talk about it at the moment, but I can just say that it's really intertwined with when we talk about spirituality and remote viewing and even astral projection. So Claudia was talking about astral projection, and I believe a lot of people are so excited, like or would like to get into a journey of astral projection. And there is certain ways that you could do it, and if there is a way that you are not like you're not fully understanding like what's happening to you, why certain things just kind of break, or rather you feel scared or you feel fearful about certain things, and then you come back into the bodies. Now, knowing the fact this group is all about past life regressions, and you're really into that other beyond space, okay? Usually what happens is that whenever that you are in through that meditative, the theta state, it's easier for you to kind of move on and beyond from certain places, because it's all about consciousness, and it's really pliable, and you could really move wherever that you really want to go. I think I can just start with a little bit about remote viewing, and then maybe I'll speak a little, and then if you have any questions, I'll be more than happy to, have some questions from you. And then maybe, we could also do some, a little bit of an exercise of how it feels to be a remote viewer. Okay. So maybe, y'all can just tackle and see that how much of skills that you actually really have within yourselves, and maybe you don't even believe that you do. So, because as we know, we all are really psychics, there's no such thing as going a medium or a psychic they actually have natural powers and this and that. Yes, some people are really strong with natural abilities, but it can be enhanced with practice. So, I do kind of teach expansion of consciousness in my own courses, and I also have my meditation groups where a lot of this work is being spoken, or rather, on a day-to-day, like on a weekly basis, we speak a lot about energies and this and that. But I'm sure, Claudia is doing amazingly well over here as well, because she's open towards these things, and she's a medium herself. So let's start with remote viewing. So I can just tell you how it all had started. I was a channeler and a medium since quite young. And it's just that with my QHHD experiences as, being a practitioner myself, I went into a phase where, it started with mediumship to a point where I went into being a QHHD practitioner. And as I was doing a lot of work whilst I was doing this, I would get premonitions quite a lot. And it's something that I've always had since young. And I think it was more like Dolores Cannon. I mean, I don't know how many people will tell you, but Dolores Cannon is actually handpicking her students in some way. Okay. She's on the other form. She's somewhere else, she's very much here, like she's very much around us. But as she's passed now, there's a lot of her energies being felt by, you can speak about like light workers or people who are here to help and put themselves into services and things like that. So it was her taking me into another space. This is on a very meditative space that I was in. So this is more like a vision. So you cannot say that I was dreaming or any of this, and we can move ourselves into it. Remember, meditation is key towards a lot of things that you do metaphysically. Okay, so if anybody tells you that meditation is something that does not work, or maybe you could do this or that, sitting in meditation or having the practice of meditation will definitely enhance your abilities. That's what I will just start with. Okay, that's the foundation. And the more you get into it, you'll start getting, the more you work on certain levels, you'll start understanding that it can go into certain ways. Like for me, when I used to sit on meditations, I used to start doing bilocation, okay, or bilocating. Now, the word bilocating by itself sounds really interesting, but what it really means is no longer in my body, jumped out from my body into another timeline completely. Sometimes a completely another timeline, sometimes in another part of the world, or maybe another star system. It depends, okay? In the start, it all started with me jumping out or moving out from my body and going into a complete different, space, which is very much in earth. So my mom, so my background is I'm an Indian, and I'm born and brought in India. And so my mom, she still lives in India. I've settled down and I'm here for like more than 2 decades now in London and in the UK. But I would bilocate some way, which I did not even intend to, and just be around her. And I usually would meditate around, say, evening times. And back in India, it is like pretty much 3, 4 a.m. in the morning. And I would see my mom lying on the bed, and I could feel and touch the bed. I could sense and feel. So it's literally like a version of me who's really not the body, but I could sense and feel things. That's called bilocating. And I kept on doing that quite a lot, sometimes with my mother, sometimes somewhere else, sometimes in front of my clients' houses. That was not something that was intending to do so. And there was a point where I had to stop and had to ask this question: why am I even doing this? What is this thing? I was not very sure about any of this thing. Later on, one of my mentors, when I was practicing more of the stuff, she told me that this is basically your remote viewing. And to that, I was like, because, we have this whole question, am I astral projecting? What is this thing? Okay. But astral projection is more like you're going in an astral field, which is very different. Remote viewing is more like you are in the same space. You can be in the same dimension, but you've moved somewhere. Okay. So when she said remote viewing, but then she goes, Nikki, you couldn't do this because you need to put a proper intention in order to do so. And I just told her that I'm not even putting any intention. I don't know why am I doing this. So what I realized that, and now this is more from sitting in meditation and connecting with my guides in order to ask these questions. And what I realized is that my guides were showing that there is another thing that you really need to do, or it's part of your, purpose of life. And they said that, you really need to learn this because this is something that's coming up for you. Now, when this happened, I went on a hunt into looking what is remote viewing, how I can learn this. And I realized that this is something that is learned in the military long years. And I'm talking about, even World War One. Okay, where Americans, Germans, Russians, they would have these psychic spies apparently. Okay, and they would, train these people who are kind of psychic, but they train in a certain way, which is also called the controlled remote viewing. And so specifically to see something, receive information and gain that and then come back. So what really happened was I went onto some YouTube videos, which is quite normal, as we all do, and found these really old men talking about remote viewing. And that just turned me off straight away. I was like, I don't want to be part of all this. So I was like, I don't know if I'm even supposed to do this. It doesn't look nice. So, and this was like the military guys. You would train these people, and they would be like psychic spies, finding out more about what's happening in Russia. Was the prime minister doing there? Or what's the weapons like? How we need to. So it was all of those things, and then even there's more. So even before even we realized these things or we understood these things fully, things like aliens and ETs and things like that, okay, that was always there. Okay, and this is way far that I'm talking with Hitler. Okay, he was very intrigued to find out more of these things, and Antarctica is a big one. Okay, so I can give you some information with that, but there was a lot going on even in those days, if you remember. Here the human side of it was being put in a phase where there's war going on. You kind of just look into survival, this, that, whatever. But that was just, in a way, it was just for us to create that, space where we could just be in that survival mode, and none of us can think of beyond the space. Okay. But whereas the others, or whether we could say, you can use this high profile people who knew more about all this. Okay. And they use remote viewers to receive more information. So that's how the whole remote viewing thing came from. But remote viewing comes from more ancient times, where people, when they were much more highly evolved, like at the moment, human have been kind of densed down, okay, to a point where they can only have certain limitation, and the belief system has been completely taken to a point where you just know so much and you don't know much. That's how it's been put out there. So anyhow, so it's come to a point where remote viewers are now more fully available, okay, and they are easier. I mean, you can learn this factor if you want to. It's more like practice and patience, really, that you have to do. So continuing with my story, I went into a point where I no longer was looking into remote viewing because I did not like what that was. And I was like, I don't want to be part of all this. And coming back to this, suddenly out of nowhere on a Facebook, okay, there was some group that I was in. I don't know, some sort of a starseed group that I was in at that time. And I remember there was this one information just splashed, like this was a post thing. We are doing remote viewing stuff. And if anybody who's really interested to learn about remote viewing, we are open. We're doing a webinar, which is for 5 hours. And if anybody would like to come, it's for free. And I felt like there was a calling, okay? There was a huge calling for me. And I was like, okay, I need to do this maybe, okay? The lady who kind of did this, okay, her name is Heather. And she, she's really sweet, young female, did not feel like the whole older, the military kind of strictness and disciplining. I did not feel that from her at all. It was right, sat there in that webinar. I think that was a big one. Mostly, I think around more than 100 people actually joined in for free. And I think as the hours passed by, people started dropping. Okay, so like people felt like, yeah, I like this, and then like I might not like this, because it was very tedious in sense like it's very focused in an analytical style. Okay, so there is something that you get codings, you get tags, okay, you get a certain, numbers that you have to work on and those kind of things. For me, it was all new, so I continued, and I do feel like I wanted to learn more, and that's the reason why. I think by the end of the webinar, which was after the 5 hours, I think only hardly 50 or 60, they kind of were left. So we got a homework right at the end. And in the homework, they mentioned that if you could send off that homework, then, we will let you know. We're looking for some students, beginners who can learn this, and we are open towards, sharing the knowledge. So I was intrigued. There were 5 pieces of homework that was given. Okay. And I went ahead straight after I finished, I went and did the homework. The homework was you get a tag, which is of a 4-number tag. Okay. And you need to go within the tag. There is information in the tag itself, and receive that information, write it down. Okay. And these pages of information, and then send it off to them, which I did. And then afterwards, I actually forgot about it because I was really busy with my work and everything else. Okay. Now, after almost a month or so, I get an email from this lady coming back and telling me that we really looked at your work. It's really, really good. And we would like to invite you in our advanced group. Okay. And that's when I got shocked and was like, I thought that it was beginners group that you're looking for. I'm not sure even, what this is all about. And that's my journey from remote viewing. And this is in the United States. So this is how I got linked with these people. Okay. I do work with them still, but my major work is now in the UK. So, I did almost 2.5 years of training with them. and we have done a lot of work. So my work is also in Edge of Wonders, which is in the United States, where it's known as the Chronicles of Psychic Spies. So there's a lot of information out there. Like we have found out about Mars, we found out about other star systems. Where does Moldavite come from? So there's the crystal Moldavite. Okay, so I'm sure some of you would know it. Just like how we have quartz and things like that, Moldavite is something that was found in Earth, which is not from Earth. It doesn't have Earth elements. So where did Moldavite actually come? They all talk about a meteorite, but the story is completely different. So when we went into remote viewing, this whole aspect, it wasn't that. So so in this way, I got into kind of getting into a lot of work with them. And then I started doing a lot of cold cases, and which was again kind of, it all starts, cold cases and the missing cases all starts with, I know a person who is a psychic who might be able to help. Okay, and then the people say someone's child is missing. Okay, they would contact you, and then you would get information. The police would not want to listen to you. Okay, but if you have more of those people coming to you, that means, okay, and if you give information, and if they actually find that there is some link into that information, then the police will start listening to you. Okay, and this is a way how I started working with the Metropole Police in the UK, and then the FBI as well in the US.
Through this company, the EC, through this group, you were connected to the psychic police. That is how it happened.
It was really psychic police. Yeah, it wasn't really psychic police. It was normal police. We're looking for, so there was a huge missing case in the UK, which came in papers and stuff. And at that time, I was already teaching. As I teach, we also bring these because I also teach remote viewing, and I brought this thing in forward, and we received where this lady or where this girl has gone. Okay, who has taken her, where about, which lane, and what is around her. Is she even alive or dead? Okay, in what circumstances that she is. We got that information. I kind of knew the mother. It was a friend's friend, and I gave that information. They went in listening to that, because when you don't have anything, that time whatever comes to you, you'll quickly grab that opportunity and do certain things. Okay, when she did it, she found the links opening up for her, and that's when the police came in and joined hands. Okay, and that's when the police came to know that, okay, this is a lady, she does this work, she's quite good with it. And that's how I connected. Now the police actually gets connected directly to me, so it's no longer coming from a wire. I'm just saying how the whole work actually started. Yeah. So yes. So, but now I'm working with an alliances. So these alliances are who are also working with higher grade stuff, which is, now I'm talking about ET stuff. Okay, I'm talking about something that is higher, much more higher than just missing cases and things like that. Finding out more about what the world really needs. Yes, Claudia.
Sorry to interrupt you there, because once upon a time you were telling me that you were working in that, what you just mentioned, that you were working in higher cases, not just missing people, more like ETs, more outside the planet situation. Anything that you can share in that, like
right?
So this is another institution.
Yeah, I can give you some information last year that I've done, and that is this is about this is not for faint-hearted. Okay, so I just want to give the disclaimer already.
Share, like, we don't want to share something that you cannot.
Yeah, so for me, basically, this is more about this was about child trafficking and where it's all going from, a cult behind the child trafficking, as aspects with sacrifices. Okay, so it was really deep and dense. I'll be honest, yeah, it was really dense. I mean, I worked for at least, I think, 4 months, okay, back to back, and it's heavy. These things are very heavy. I mean, if you're working that much into, so I was bringing mediumship, so there was mediumship involved with this, there was channeling involved with this, there were other grades of not human but humanoids involved with this. So there was, yeah, there was a lot of those kind of things that was involved, and unfortunately, well, fortunately, unfortunately, we could save some children, some could not be saved, unfortunately. So yeah, so I would say what was meant for the at the period at the time is what happened. But so yes, there is a group of people who work, and they are scattered all over the entire globe. So I am very much from the UK side that I'm doing this work, and mind you, there are some amazing, beautiful, lovely, even people working in the government who are also into this, by the way. So because not everything is really wishy-washy, okay? So yeah, I just want to let you know about that.
Okay.
So yes, so that is something that I've done, and we are still working. At the moment, we are doing something very different. This is something about a Stargate and a portal. So I can just give you a little information on that. I cannot give too much because we're still working on that at the moment. But just giving you an example, like we do have loads of tunnels underneath, okay, the earth, okay, and they could be as big as a fighter jet or a tank. Even a tank will look that small in front of this huge tunnel, if I be honest. Okay, that's how big things are. They are not. Some of them are human made. Some are not. Okay, and some are still kind of some. A huge amount of it has been emptied now, and but there is more that is still getting discovered, still opening up. Okay, most if I'm not sure if a lot of people are into Rumble or BitChute and this kind of stuff, but because more of the information is out there, but you also have to be very very careful in what kind of information are you actually listening to, because most you will see that some of them, they'll say I'm very spiritual and I do this work, and there's nothing really there, okay, with this thing. But saying that, some of the work has been focused upon and is being mentioned in Rumble and BitChute and things like that. So because YouTube and all these places, they, yeah, your account will be taken down completely if you kind of put this information out there.
How do you prepare yourself to confront, especially when you were talking about child trafficking? I'm not sure what you're finding underneath the air, is good, bad, but how do you confront all these things that can be very dense, and how can you prepare yourself emotionally, mentally, then do the remote viewing to see all those stuff? How do you transmit the information without your emotions block? Like, I'm just talking, I have two small children. I cannot even see an advertisement of something happening to kids because I cry, like anything related with kids, I get too emotional. So I know that, for example, that work, I would not be able to do it just because I don't know, I have this expansion to kids and I cannot really see them having some harm. So how do you prepare yourself before, during, and after, or
Yeah,
to
well,
from all that?
Claudia, I mean, I will be fully honest over here. It was not easy.
Yeah.
I'm a mom as well, okay? And I think most of the field works that we did, we found out a school, and there was a tunnel underneath that. Um, this is the field works that I'm talking now. And unfortunately, I just broke down crying, and they had to obviously hold me. So I mean, there have been case I had to rewire things after finishing that 4 month dense stuff, and I had to basically take a holiday. holiday did not even work at, to be honest. I had to do a lot of meditation, cleansing, clearing before I could come back to normal. So there was a point when I was completely gone, did not do anything. And yes, it is, I mean, it's more like when you're doing some work that is back to back and that's this dense. Unfortunately, what happens is you tend to, unless you know, so I'm an empath, okay, and as a healer, as an empath, you kind of, you know, no matter how much you are putting a shield, okay, and protecting yourself, but you know, you tend to, you know, especially when it comes to kids and you know, children, you tend to kind of absorb stuff, unfortunately, and they would come in my dreams. My dream state was all kind of messed up at that point. I do a lot of dream work, so I am actually going in other timelines in the dream itself. So I was working in dreams as well, going in timelines just to see what really happened, how it went on, you know, those kind of things. So I was even doing that. So I think it was nonstop working, and I was how crazy, if I'd be honest, at that. So, but yes, I do feel that there is some positive about it. This work is the whole thing about helping, the whole thing about wanting to, as I said, expansion of consciousness, but it's also about service to humanity. You know, that's the main factor, because some things can be really done on the physical side, some things are not, and some things can be done this way. But
I agree. I agree with that. The service and purpose is key for any of this type of work. Anything from hypnosis, meditation, mediumship. If you don't have the desire of service and purpose, I don't believe somehow the person can look successful, you know, in many ways, but for somehow this it's like a I don't want to say that, but like to see politicians, you know, like something like that. There's something that is not really the real deal, because you feel that the service and purpose intention within the person is not there. So I think
yeah.
you are so right by saying that, the service and purpose.
Yeah, and I think that was the purpose where I was leading all into, you know, the whole remote viewing was the purpose really, and that's where it all kind of went to a point where I realized that, gosh, this is huge, and I was thinking I'll just push that away, but obviously didn't because it was meant to be. Hence, I kind of got into. But there are amazing. I think I will like to talk a little bit about Moldavite, which I went in. How many people in the group are aware of the crystal Moldavite? So you could just raise your hand if you are aware of it. Okay. So Moldavite, don't have it right now in front of me. I wish I could have shown you. I have loads of them actually with me. So Moldavite is like a crystal, and you will see it looks like a glass. It almost looks like glass. Okay. It comes from Moldova. That's the place where hence the whole name Moldavite. It comes from there, and it's basically it's just this one place in Czech where, you know, all of this actually, you know, you get the crystal only there. So when you dig, there's a certain place, and you would get this crystal underneath. And there has been so many scientists and so many people who have gone into finding and researching of why, you know, Moldavite is only found here. And they went into the elements of the Moldavite to find out, like, whether, you know, this is, you know, does it have the earth elements? It has some very different elements that's not even to do anything to do with earth. So what basically, and it's like thousands of years, actually not even thousands, millions of years. Okay. So it's more like it comes from really time when human did not exist. That's what the scientists talk or tell you. Okay. But, you know, and yeah, I mean, they say that there either was a meteorite that came in and smashed the earth, and there was a lot of like either molten lava or something when it happened, and because of the heat it gives that glassy effect to Moldavite. Okay, so now Moldavite, if anyone who is really highly sensitive, if you hold Moldavite in your hand, or maybe you could just keep it under your bed, you know, under your pillow and go to sleep, if it is a real, I mean, there's so many fake out there, but if it's a real Moldavite, okay, you'll always feel certain headache or pain. It's itself means that this is a real deal that you have with you, okay? What's happening is it enhancing your third eye. It's trying to open up your third eye. So if you've ever had Moldavite, or you've had Moldavite would never kind of done that, then I will really reckon do it, okay? Because it opens up their third eye, and you might even have headache for 2 or 3 days, okay? So, but then it's a good headache, it's not a bad headache, okay? It means that it's trying to at least do something, all right? So, so here's the thing, okay, about Moldavite. So I'll just give you what, as a remote viewer, what we have seen and what we have found out. So I'm giving you basically an episode from Chronicles of, Psychic Detective. So Psychic Spies, sorry. So, right. So Moldavite, what we went and had a look was, this is millions of years ago, where there was civilization, which very much there on Earth. But the civilization that was there wasn't human, okay? So there were others who actually have walked on this earth as well, all right? These were a beautiful, lovely tribe. I can use the word tribe because it felt like an amazing, beautiful community and a tribe. But they were not tribal. They were very high advanced. There was this pyramid shape temple that they had, and it was made of a material that was, again, very high advanced material that was being created, which is, again, you can use certain metals but won't understand these metals because it was not from Earth. The civilization that came from another star system saw Earth, felt really great, felt like they can actually live here, and started living there. Now, their consciousness of the entire tribe, okay, was in that temple that they had created, okay? This temple had a lot of energy, okay? And it's almost like a really high empowered EMF energy that is there within this temple. And this temple, if you keep this temple safe, the consciousness around, that means the tribe are safe. Okay, so they were really highly well, I would not say they were protective, but it was like there was high, whenever they would come towards the temple, they will be, and I use the word temple because that's how we feel like when anything that's sacred. I'm not sure if they use the word temple there, but it felt like it was very sacred to them. So even when the tribe wants to have a baby or evolve, it will happen from the temple. So they will go all into consciousness together, okay, and frequency wise it will raise the frequency, and there will be like a birth of a child, not like how we have birth of children, okay? So it's very different in that community. Now there were others who were very much wanting more power, more energy. Now, so this is not just our war system of how it's out there as well. And there was this other group who wanted to conquer and be part of this earth space. They looked at the temple. They knew how much of energy it actually holds, and that can help them, okay, maneuver, do things, and so on and so forth. So they wanted to capture and they wanted to take the energy, but just they did not understand how powerful this space, this thing is. Okay, so they came with aircraft, so we could see aircrafts coming down. Okay. These guys did not have aircrafts. They have other things, but not something that was moving up and down. They had a mothership, but not tiny aircrafts that they actually came in. So UFOs or whatever that you might say. And these came down and started putting laser beam or laser. So there was a lot of high voltage, high powered weapons that were being used against these people. Now so the ones on the ground were also highly high tech. So they also knew that we can also, so there was a war that broke down in there. Whilst the war was going down around this area, their mothership, which is the people who wanted to conquer, so they came in and put a really high empowered laser beam, thinking that they're going to lift this thing up. Okay. But instead of lifting it up, this whole thing blasted. Okay. And this entire thing, because of the amount of power this temple really had, it melted. So this thing literally melted. And then most of the civilization actually got swept up completely because of this whole thing. Nobody knew how bad this could be. This was how bad that was. Some actually flew, went back, okay. And then this area completely got deserted. And then again, as evolution takes place, one after another, after years, things went by. And this thing, because this is high molted thing that actually happened, the laser thing that actually took place, it turned green in color. It wasn't green, it was shiny silver in color when it was actually there. So we saw it very shiny. It's not even silver. I would say that it had a rainbowy effect. So it was so bright that it had a rainbow, but it was of certain material that they had created with. And that melted and turned green and had that glassy effect to it. So it still has the consciousness, you see. Okay. Hence, it is a very powerful crystal. Okay, we call it a crystal. It's not really even a crystal, but well, this is what it is. Okay, and yes, and it, because it's high powered in consciousness, it does give you the buzziness, okay, into your third eye. So I think anybody who is into crystals and don't have moldavite, go get one.
Yeah, Claudia has a collection, gigantic collection.
Oh, you got a collection.
She sells
Moldavite.
crystals. Claudia sells crystals, yeah.
Sorry, just a
Got one.
question.
There you go. There you
Yes,
go.
where can we find that? So, like a reliable source where we can buy it.
Yeti, I can just give you okay, there are loads of fake out there. I'll give you a way to find out a real moldavite, how you can see it. Just like how Claudia very kindly was showing her moldavite, okay? Look at any moldavite, okay, up on the sunlight, okay? And look at the bubbles. There's a bubbly form because it melted. Okay, there was a bubble form that actually all moldavites actually have. Okay, look at the bubbles, and if these are like perfect round bubbles, okay, then it's fake. Okay, so I believe Claudia last started looking at hers now, but and if you're looking up, okay, and it has got bubbles which are like elongated kind of bubbles, and sometimes bubbles between and more bubbles inside bubbles, okay, that is authentic. Also the color, it is not really green like proper green. It's got this sagey green color to it, okay. It's got like this a little dirty green color, if I would say so, okay. So that's the color that you're looking at. And by the way, moldavites can't be created, like loads of people see that they're wearing jewelry, earrings, rings, and this polished, and they're not moldavites whatsoever. So don't buy, okay. People are literally minting money out of fake moldavites out because it looks like a glass, so it's how easy it's to fake people with looking at a, like, say, a green glass which has got some bubbles in it. Okay, so you have to be very, very careful when you're buying it. Reliable sources, I think if you ever go to Moldova or go to Czech, if I think you can look into it. But I think there are some really amazing crystal people out there who are not fake. Make sure when you're looking for crystals, okay, ask them which crystal. Say if it is an online thing, ask them to take a picture of that particular crystal being put up on like light, okay, or maybe light, and just look at it and see if you could feel that or not. Okay, so hope that helps.
Yes.
Claudia, just for the group, Claudia Tink here, say hello. she sells crystals and is amazing.
There you go.
I have bought a few from her, and it's amazing the power of the amethyst that I bought versus an amethyst that I bought somewhere else, like a smaller, is completely different. Yeah. So if anyone's interested, Claudia has a big collection. But yes, thank you. You are talking about amazing things. What is I just want to come back to a few things that you said at the beginning, Nikki. A little back, that we humans, because many, when I was, promoting astral projection or remote viewing, one of the questions is like, so what? It's interesting to know, but as you said in the group that you were 100 something people, and then halfway people drop, and then they were not interested in only half, a few of you finished the group. So the same today, I found it interesting that a lot of people put a lot of resistance about remote viewing and astral projection. Like, so what? What is this for me? But one of the reasons that I wanted to do it, as you said at the beginning, was that we have been put so many limited belief systems, and we've been closed in our mind to be controlled in that way that before was not. That this is remote viewing for me is like almost like a force exercise that we all need to do to remember those psychic abilities that we have. We all have these powers and we forget. So we should do some remote viewing every day from silly things in order to do that. And one of the examples that you were saying at the beginning is we've been putting down, we weren't close, we don't, we are not as expanded and intelligent as you used to be in our, ancestral civilizations. But talking about remote viewing, the Aboriginals here in Australia, my goodness, I've been studying quite a little bit about them. It's amazing. It's amazing the power of the remote viewing and hypnosis. Sorry, not hypnosis. Telepathy that they used to have, and they have. And in one of my meditations that I had, a few times, I connect. A few times, I'm not saying one. I connect now. I think because at the time, perhaps I was not thinking that was remote viewing. I was feeling that I was more a telepathic conversation with an Aboriginal man. And I was feeling that I was real sitting next to him, this skinny Aboriginal elder on a top of a rock, red desert in Australia somewhere. And we both were sitting together. And in a few times that I had, he was giving me symbols. So I was trying to connect all the symbols. And at the end of the symbols were a cross, a fish, a spiral, like different, I believe, spiritual belief systems. Yeah, so symbols of the different belief systems. And more than I think about this connection that I have with this Aboriginal man and Aboriginal people, I truly feel honored because the love and the wisdom and the expansion of me is different from a dream. And it's also different from an astral projection that I had as well. So it's what you were saying, feels different, feels completely different. But I didn't know that at the time when I was having these experiences. But now you confirm when you say it is different remote viewing than astral projection. But coming back to the main reason why we all should learn about this and please share all this information is because we need to come back to the expanded or to the so intelligent human beings that we are. They're so, I don't know what is the word to say, but we are so limited. And why? Why are we allowed to external situations or ourselves and belief systems to limit us and our capabilities? So thank you. So continue. I don't know if anyone else has any other questions before we continue with more topics. And we are warning this is going to expand more than 8 o'clock, I think. So
I have another question for Nikki. You were talking before about being able to go to different timelines. Obviously, I imagine that will include the future timelines. So in regards to that, it just comes to mind Minority Report, where you have the precogs, where they were able to sort of prevent incidents in a way before they happened. So is that something that you can do with remote viewing, or is it something completely different?
So first of all, thank you for that question. I think, you guys are now thinking about it. So good questions are coming through. So yes, I would just say that, yes, timelines is very possible to do. You can easily get into and receive a timeline. Okay. Here's the thing about timelines. So we, as remote viewers, we knew when they are going to announce the Queen dead. Okay. So, and I use the word why they're going to announce the Queen dead. There's also, they say, the conspiracy theory about Queen was already dead, maybe. Who knows? Okay. But I think I'll just leave that to that. But I will just say that, yes, it is possible to find out. Okay. And it is very easy to kind of move into that and actually receive that information. When I say easy, means remember timelines, there's infinite timelines in front of us, okay? And wherever and this is how I actually tell my students, my clients, this is how I actually explain. I say that timelines are all there in front of us, okay? Look at yourself being a code, okay? Your code is your frequency. So you have a certain frequency, and say, I'll give you an example. I'll give you an analogy so it's easier for you to understand. Say 101, okay? That's your frequency, all right? So you're coded 101, okay? And there are millions of, or infinite timelines. All the timelines are similar code, means 101, 102, 3, 4, 5, and so on and so forth, okay? Infinite, okay? Now, your frequency is of that particular code. Hence, you connect to that particular code timeline. You see that? So that's how it works. So that's the reason when they talk about manifestation, they say that, bring yourself into that particular, highest frequency, and then you will manifest. You're manifesting. So just giving you an example. I know I'm getting into a tangent, but you will understand why I'm putting this example in. So it's more like, say I want to buy a car, okay, and I've got a specific car in my mind and I want that color, whatever. It's very much there in this timeline, which is millions and billions or infinite timelines. It's of a certain code, okay? Now you have to bring your frequency into that particular code or that frequency in order to connect to that particular timeline. So, yes, so that means timeline is very much, we can actually go and receive, but sometimes what happens is, and I'm going to give a disclaimer, I'm going to talk about something which is we call dark energies, or people who are doing certain things to people and so on and so forth. There is something known as Akashic records. That means it gives you all sort of timelines in it, okay? And when we're receiving information, we are getting onto what is the frequency at the moment, and what this frequency can lead into what kind of timeline that's coming up. Okay, so if you've read Nostradamus books, like especially with Dolores Cannon, who has written down so much about it, he used to go in and go into a specific timeline, see what's coming up, and used to come back and he used to write it down. Okay, now a lot of things that Nostradamus actually mentioned has actually happened, and some of it hasn't, because certain shift has been taken place. Okay, whilst if we would have carried on with a similar timeline, yes, it might have gone really worst. Okay, but because there was a certain shift with the consciousness in the mind power, things did not go as bad as certain things were being mentioned. And similarly, things do happen. So yes, you can see, because if you link in well with that particular frequency, okay, it's a portal that opens up, and you can move from that portal and go into that timeline and actually view the timeline and come back with information. So when the whole COVID situation was going on, we knew what's coming up. We knew how things will be after this. We knew what will happen in news and how things will be, put out there. Even before COVID hit, we knew what is hitting very soon. So these were timelines because we were in that particular frequency in order to gain that knowledge. Okay. And I just want to also tell a little bit of what Claudia was also mentioning over here. We are in that space at the moment where Dolores talks about the new age or the golden age, okay, that's coming forward, this transformation with the new earth and the old earth kind of going in. So I just wanted to basically talk a little bit about that. We are right now in the Kali Yuga or the Iron Age, okay? In the Iron Age itself, we have a bit of a golden, not golden age, but I would say a golden stage, rather, a period, which we call as the golden period. In this period, we are in it at the moment. Let's put it this way, okay? And this is going to be here for few years, good amount of years, because the consciousness is changing at this point. Hence, you will see a lot of things with solar flares that's taking place. There is a lot that is going on with Schumann's resonance, okay? And the whole thing about people opening up, okay? It is the golden, period in the Iron Age at the moment. That means Iron Age will continue, okay? And then people who don't want to move in, who choose that because there is free will to it, okay? And they go, I don't want to care, I don't care what these all people are talking about. I just want to be happy in whatever I'm doing at the moment. I don't care, okay? So people who don't want to move, they don't want to do certain work, they don't want to work with their shadows, they've not done the karmic depth stuff and whatever. So it's more like, they're just stuck where they are and they choose to be that way. And so hence the timeline for them is different comparatively the one who are ascending or wanting to ascend and move forward. So that means that golden period has been given to all of us to enhance ourselves and move up. So that means there will be a point where certain of us, or maybe the whole group over here, will be in a complete different timeline and won't be feeling the effects of the Iron Age, okay, which is very deep, very dark, okay. You don't want to be there at all. You want to be part of it at all. So yes, so here how things will change as well. So we've looked into the darker stuff, okay, and we also have looked into the brighter stuff, okay, and equally I will just say just be in the brighter side if that's possible. So that's how I will just say. So but yeah, so I hope that answers the question. I hope that answers.
Thank you. Any other question? So we can move to astral projection. Thank you. It's fascinating. We can continue talking about this, but moving to the astral projection, because I feel that they are related. Since I'm a kid, since I have memory and vivid dreams, and 3-4 years old, or I don't know since when, I involuntary travel. And I'm a very much adult. I do that every week at least, sometimes many times in a week. And I cannot control it. And every single time that I get out of my body, it's not a problem. I can see myself, I can go around the house, I can see everything, it's not a problem. I can even go out of the house, it's okay. But there's always one moment that I get pulled in this tunnel. And it's like a vacuum cleaner or something. And it's this tunnel really like the movies. And I start panicking. And I cannot control. And this is when I start doing every single prayer, God, angels, to bring me back. And then I go back with my heart pumping and I wake up. So tell us, especially this is my example, but if there's anything about astral traveling and anything that can help us to have, for me that I have that involuntary, to have a better experience, or for someone else who wants to learn. I know a few here you want to learn how to do it. If you can give us tip, but in general, tell us about why we need to travel to the astral space. Thank you.
So, yes, Claudia, astral traveling is so interesting, isn't it? Like, I would just say that, first of all, we all are astral travelers. So it's none of us is not. If you sleep, you go to dream states, yes, you astral travel, simple as that, okay? So it's about you being aware of what you're doing, and you're being completely unconscious. That's the thing. So with Claudia's case, you are aware. So you get awareness. You're aware that you are astral traveling. Now, astral traveling, I could just say that we use the word astral travel because astral is a complete different dimension. Okay, it is very close because it's closer to like the 5 and the 6D. That's where the astral is. Okay, and it's easier for anybody who is above to come down. Okay, and us to go all the way there. And especially people, human beings usually do it mostly in their dream times. The ones who are not really conscious about certain things. So saying that, the reason why I can just say that, you're finding it kind of fearful in order to be, is the grounding work, which is the lower chakras, okay, are not fully developed, or rather not fully activated. So what happens in a state like this, and we do a lot of astral traveling meditations where we're going out, okay, completely, and people are like, I saw this and I saw that. I'm like, great. But mainly what happens, and a lot of people have similar, like just like how you mentioned, Claudia, is they're really fearful, or they feel dizzy, they feel nausea, they come back, it takes them at least an hour or so to just get properly back, and they're having heart palpitations, all of those things. Now, when this happens, it is a key indication that your lower chakras, okay, are not fully either, activated or developed, or there is something that you still need to work on. Okay, so it's almost like kind of working. Now, I do a lot of breath work, which is teach a lot of breath work in order to cleanse this area. It's also known as Kriya Yoga. So if you've ever heard about Kriya Yoga, or something clicks when you hear this word, it's a type of breath thing. So if I give you example, like when we heard about Wim Hof, or, they put their names in it. Okay, let's put Joe Dispenza. They put their names in it, but this is all ancient stuff. Yes. That has been long time back, okay, and they all have kind of created their own thing with it, okay, but anywho, like whatever works for whoever, okay, it doesn't matter, but it's all that technique that they're bringing forward, okay. This is all the ancient technique that is brought forward, and with the breath work that we are doing, we're cleansing ourselves fully, okay, so that there is no remnants of any energy that is dense. So that means, I would just say, Claudia, there is stuff, okay, which is either around your root, sacral, or solar plexus. These are the 3 lower chakras that seems to be not fully, there is something still to work on, okay. So if you work fully on these areas, okay, with the help of breath work, or through meditations, or cleansing chakra, however that you feel like works better for you, okay, I really will say that once that's done, that feeling won't be there. You'll be able to go out and do your own thing. I really wanted to give a story over here, and I hope you all will like the story. So I've got twins, and I got one boy, one girl. Both of them are very highly psychic. I believe they get it from the mother, or maybe my lineage of some kind, okay? My daughter was, I think, around 6-7 years old when she started meditating. And she used to go really deep in meditation. And then she used to go out of her body, which is astral traveling. And she used to do quite a lot of that, okay? She started doing that in her dreams as well. And she learned to do lucid dreaming. She was, I mean, this is something not coming from this side, it's from another lifetime. I'm sure she's learned something and she's brought forward over here. So so she would go out, and she loves football, so she will create a pitch in her lucid dreaming, and she'll bring all these people around, and then she'll start playing football, okay. And she used to do that, and she used to tell me, and I used to feel happy about it and all of that. Suddenly what happened was, it became very dense and dark, okay. So I'm going to talk a little, and this is all to do with astral traveling, really. So what happened was she went into a point where she was screaming in the night, waking up. Okay, all of those things were happening, and it was like back to back, back to back. So as a psychic mother, I really need to obviously check in what, this whole thing is happening. So I obviously asked her, and she obviously did not want to talk about it. And then later on, when she opened up, she goes that she's been seeing this thing, it comes with a hood on, and it has, I don't know if you ever have watched Scream, the movie Scream, where they wear a mask, okay? And they have these long eyes and a ooh mouth, okay, open, and there's a longish face, white mask that he's wearing. And she's like, he always comes in, and she drew it and she gave it to me. I was like, okay. And I know that she astral travels in her dreams. And so what I did was I tagged in one of her dreams to see what's happening, just to see, okay? So she's fast asleep. My daughter's fast asleep, and I'm meditating at the time to tag with her, okay? Went to see and found out that she's playing with these not human beings in her astral space, and they basically latched on her and have come down, okay? And I could feel it in my house, and I could feel it in my vicinity. So I knew that I had to kind of shush it out, okay, and basically tell him to FO. So I was like, what I did was go into, again, in the meditative state, go into astral traveling, move out, go the place where I could find this thing that has been latched on my daughter. And then basically, well, I mean, the thing is, it's all on your belief system, okay? If you feel that thing is scary, then definitely you'll be scared. If you think that you're more powerful than that, then definitely that is the case. So I knew that they don't, they can't really harm you with anything, okay? If you are fully protected, you know how to protect yourself, you know how to work with protection and all of those things, there's nothing really that they can really do. Yes, he was having, or this thing was having a human experience through my daughter in some ways. So that's the reason it latched on her. So I had to basically just, tell it to get lost, okay, and not to come in, because to basically just show that there's more power over here and there's nothing. And obviously it went away. And after that, I did teach my daughter to protect herself as she is astral traveling. So astral traveling can be good and bad in both ways. So if you have lower density energies around you, you might pick up lower density beings or things in your astral travel, and you can come back. Hence, you will see that, you had a really bad nightmare or something in your dreams. Maybe you came across something. And it's not just that in dream interpretation. I love doing dream interpretations, but remember, in dream work, when you dream work, it could be absolutely any avenue that you've gone and traveled. It could be another timeline. It could be an astral space. It could be something your subconscious have hit out, okay, and given you understanding about something. It's about like receiving a premonition for yourself, some work that you need to release. You do a lot of that in dream state also. You learn things in dreams as well. So that means you're going and you're receiving some wisdom of some kind and coming back, okay, in your body. So there's a lot that the soul really does in dreams. So you have to be very careful when you're actually doing astral traveling. And yes, you have to obviously realize that as you're astral traveling, the main focus is working on your chakras fully before actually moving out, which is from, it has to move out from the crown. So you actually move out from the crown. So when you're astral traveling. So if the lower places are equally open and not in fear, because when you talk about fear, these are lower chakras. So this is the root chakra, or even the sacral at some point. Okay, so that is holding you back. So I hope that could, give some understanding, Claudia.
Thank you. Definitely fear comes very much. And you're right. All the time that I do my own self-work, it's like I live too much in the here, and I need to ground all the time, grounding. I need to ground more than I think. I think I do ground a lot, but it seems that it's not enough. And then what you said about the belief system, so I don't believe in bad entities. I do believe in different type of entities. I don't believe in bad spirits or anything like that. I just believe in all type of personalities. So when you give an example of your daughter, for me, it's like if we go to the bush here in Australia and we get a tick, obviously the tick can cause so many issues to us here. It's not a bad entity, it's just a tick, he's doing his work, he's just trying to survive attaching to someone. So the same if you ask, and I mentioned this to many of my clients, if you ask a gorilla if humans are good entities, they will say definitely not. They killed almost all the population of the whales, so all these marine life that we've been killing. So it is depend of the perspective if it's a bad entity or not good entity. I think for me, in that point, the humans are one of the worst to do damage intentionally to others. Yeah. But it's good. Yes, I do a lot of work with my kids as well. And interesting that you mentioned that my son as well has been experienced almost identical to what you described. He described. So
Okay. Right.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I
Um,
mean, I just say that that entity just wanted to have a human experience, so came through, okay? Did
yeah.
not realize what it was doing, okay? And I had to actually tell him to. And the thing is, my daughter was playing a lot football with him up in the Astral. So I believe in some way that she made friends with him.
Oh,
This
yeah.
thing. Okay, so it's like, okay, I'll be part of you. And that came, and then she's getting scared of it as she's coming in her body more. She's really
Yeah.
getting, because it comes, okay, again, other thing is it came with a mask just because it just did not have a face.
The
Okay,
same. The
how we
same.
have.
The same with
Exactly.
my son. It's so weird. How old is your daughter?
Well,
Oh,
the time when all this was happening, she was 6 years old. So
yeah, he's
now,
like six years
now,
old as well. And
yeah,
this
so
exactly the same. And he was playing, and you could hear him talking. And it's different when he's self-talk playing. He was truly talking to someone. And then when I
yes,
am to describe, it's the hoodie man, and doesn't have face, it's a mask. And then one day, when we start believing is that they start playing at 2 in the morning, both of them. And it's like, what is happening? So we woke up, we were playing with the foodie man, both of them. And they both describing, and my daughter was even smaller, was 4 years old. So,
yeah.
both of them were describing the same thing. So it's
And
similar to your
funny
daughter. Amazing.
I mean, the most funny thing is that when the next morning, when my daughter actually got up and she goes, yeah, mom, I saw you in my dream yesterday, and you were just standing somewhere at the corner, and I was just laughing at her. I was like, yeah, your mom had to basically just see what are you basically doing out there. So, and the best part is, Claudia, if your kids are like that, I think obviously, as we know it very well, children are the one who chooses who their parents are going to be. They're chosen like why they wanted to be, part, wanting you to be the mother because you are the one who's going to tell them, teach them, not the kind of shut them down like, no, that's just your imagination, la la la, none of those things. It's more like you're going more deep and actually explaining to them. So I think, I see that with my kids, like they've chosen me for a reason to be their
Wow,
mother.
so nice.
So that's the
We
same
should do
thing.
we should do an online session only about children. I have so many stories. But continue with the astral projection. I don't know. Could you please explain a little bit more about how we can, because a few of you are interested, how we can start doing this consciously? How can we start either remote viewing, as you said, consciously, or have astral projection experience consciously, as we are a soul, an infinite soul. So we're never born, we never die. So we as a soul, we are infinite, and we are part of this infinite, and we are part of everything. So it's just expanding our abilities, psychic abilities, mental abilities, breaking through the physical body, which I was reading a little bit about astral projection, and some of them thinks that perhaps our soul is in the sun, and we are just a projection here on earth as a humans. So we are not even here. Our soul might be there. There are many theories. But if you can give us some tips about what to do, how to do it, or example, you can start playing here, whatever you feel like.
You know what? I think the best thing is let's do an exercise that I think all will be appreciated, and they will kind of learn a little through that rather than me just talking. Okay. So let's do one thing. We anything to do with astral traveling or anything to do with remote viewing, there's a lot of telepathic connection that we get through. Okay. So there's one thing that we learn to talk. Okay. And that happens in a telepathic way. So how do we understand this whole telepathic communication that even happens? Okay, so let's do a bit of rather than doing like a remote viewing, because remote viewing, if I have to be very honest, it comes down into sight, it comes down into sensation, feelings, all of those things. Okay, and one of it is telepathy. Okay, so that is kind of understanding whether you're receiving through sight. Okay, telepathy could be through sight, it could come through a voice in with clairaudience, it could come through a feeling of some kind, and there's a lot that you could do just with a telepathy. Okay, so let's do a exercise with telepathy and see how you all go with. Okay, so what I like everyone to have like a book and a pen with them. So if you would like to go quickly grab a book and a pen with you. Okay, so right. Okay, so if you've got all of you have got a book and a pen, I am going to basically, you know what, I had asked you all to get a book and a pen. I should have got mine as well. But anyways, not a problem. So there is telepathy comes from, remember, consciousness is always around and we are energy. So there's no time and space. So no matter I'm sitting here in London and you guys are back in Sydney, there is a connection that we can connect to. And remember I was telling you about frequency, coding, all of those things. Okay. It's almost like you have to be of my frequency in order to receive. Okay. So that is either you could talk it about like a timeline or something where you're almost like you're with me. So you're right, maybe sitting right in front of me. Okay. Again, part of remote viewing of how we do things. Okay. So what I would like you all to do is say, yeah, okay, let's do this. Okay. I have certain things laid out in front of my table and you cannot see it. Okay. You can only see me in the screen. Okay. But not what's there on my table. All right. Now this part of remote viewing. Okay. So I'm looking at it at the moment. Okay. And you're picking the energy from me. You're picking the energy from me. I have certain few things over here. All right. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you into a really nice, sweet spot where you'll be able to grab information. Okay. So that means when I say sweet spot, I'm going to ask you all. So just don't do it as of yet. I'm just explaining now. So I'll ask all of you all to close your eyes. Okay. Okay. And put a very strong intent. Now, the strong intent could be in two ways. One is saying it really nice and loud and clear within your mind, okay, or maybe saying it loud yourself, okay, or writing it down, like literally writing it down, okay. But before even you go into your intention, I will just do a little bit of breathing exercise with all of you and work on kind of flickering the mind off from you before we can get in. Okay. And after that, I will ask you now receive the information and see what you got. So when you're closing your eyes at that point, okay, you could just go into certain things. Okay, so that could be, say, you're looking at a certain color in your head, or say you're not getting anything, but you're pushing yourself to receive a color and you write the color down. Okay, you write certain words that are coming in your mind. Okay, some of you might even kind of sense and feel certain things. Okay, some emotions that might come through. Okay, I would like you all to gauge into that information and write. So absolutely anything that you're getting, whether that is, it's almost like you seeing yourself come into my room. Okay, look in front of the laptop. I'm in front of a laptop right now, and look on my table. So what do you see? So when I am asking you, go into that imaginary state. Now, I'm sure you love doing the past life regression. How do you go about doing that? It's exactly the same similar phase that I'm asking you to get into. Okay, so has everybody understood what we're going to do? Yeah. Okay. All right. Great. I would like you all to now, what I want you to do, keep your book and the pen right in front of you. Okay. So that as soon as I ask you to open your eyes, you're writing your intention down. Okay. So let's put your intention down in writing because it forms it ingrains you in. Okay. So let's do this. Okay. So I would like all of you to close your eyes. Okay. Just close your eyes. And now I would like you all to just take some nice deep breath from your nose and then slowly exhale it out from your mouth. Again, a nice deep one in from your nose and exhale it out from your mouth. And at this point, I would like all of you to start sensing and feeling your body, just your body, maybe just the silhouette of your body. Just sensing and feeling your body with every breath that you're taking in and out. And this time, I'm going to name certain parts of your body. I would like you to feel that you're completely that part of your body at that time. So, for example, if I say your feet, you're completely putting your awareness into your feet and only almost like becoming those feet. If I say the hands, you can literally feel the hands, literally become the hands. And similarly in other parts of the body. Starting now, bring your awareness now around your knees. Literally feel that you've become the knees. Now feel the right shoulder. Become the left thumb. Feel and become your toes. Now become your nose. Literally sense, feel as if you're becoming that part of your body. become your neck. Sense and become your heart. Literally feel the heart, sense the heart, literally as if you're becoming the heart, so you can see the palpitation. You can feel it. You become it. Become your eyebrows. And now I'm going to ask you to move away from your body, and we are going to go external, outside of the body. We no longer are the body. I would like you to become Mars. Become the sun. Be a leaf of a tree. Be the sea. Be the cloud. Become the universe. And now, all of you, take a nice deep breath in. And as you exhale, ever so slightly, just listen to what I'm saying. We are going to put up an intention. And the intention is, I am receiving absolute clarity, information of what Nikki is asking me to receive. I am in absolute clarity and accuracy of what Nikki is asking me to receive. You can also ever so slightly open your eyes and just write this down. And then again, close your eyes if you want to. Once you're fully done, close your eyes, go back. And at this point, friends, I would like you to come along, come into my room, have a look. What do I have placed or what is around in front of me in my table? This is in front of me in my table. Go ahead, close your eyes and receive, and whatever that you get, Rather than remembering, I would like you to open your eyes, quickly write down whatever that you receive, color, feeling, emotion, images, anything. Just write it down and then shut your eyes and then go more deep. I'm going to give you, say, 5 minutes. Just receive anything and don't critique. Don't edit anything. Whatever you receive, go with it. Just receive. Don't worry. Don't edit anything, even if it is something that's stupid stuff that you feel like it is, just write it down. Don't worry. So another minute, everybody. Work with feelings as well. So write down if there's a certain feeling that comes to you, sensation, anything. Half a minute. Some, even if you want to draw something, a certain shape comes to you, something, even you could do that, doodle it. You can do that as well. All right, everybody, drop your pens. Just drop your pens. Done. Done. Okay. Right. Okay. Now let's go into the reveal. Should we go into the reveal? I think it'll be nice if you could share what you got. Okay. So let's start. Okay. And don't worry. Okay. You will just see you know what this is. Okay, so you'll understand that very soon. All right, everybody. So who wants to go first? And just don't be shy. Go ahead. Just unmute yourself and just put it out there.
Who wants to go first? Come on, don't be shy.
Nobody wants to go first. Okay, come on.
I'm happy to go first.
Okay, go.
There you go, Andrew. Go ahead.
Okay. Well, this is literally what I wrote down. I wrote down like a red or brown cloth, a white crystal, a carved wooden horse, a white stone bowl. I saw a lotus flower. I saw scissors and pastry. Is what I wrote down. That could just be because I'm hungry, you know, but who knows?
And were they, Andrew, just wanted to quickly ask, like, good, well done. And just wanted to quickly ask that, what did you get a certain emotion along with it? Like, was there a certain emotion as you were receiving this?
Look, if I'm honest, I don't know that I could point to a specific emotion. I mean, I felt calm, but beyond that, I was quite focused. So,
All right.
yeah, nothing like overarching apart from just a sense of calmness, I think.
All right. Okay. Well done, Andrew. Okay. Maybe a couple of more and then, I can go into reveal. Don't worry. Everybody doesn't have to speak if they don't want to. That's okay. Who wants to go next? Maybe Claudia, you could go, next if you want to, Claudia.
Okay. Well, I can say a lot of things. I saw actually like a painting of a woman, first like woman, like a drawing of woman, like a circle of woman or something like a woman, like a feels the power of woman or something. Also, this sounds came very strong. I'm not sure what it means, but it looks like a fan in the shape of a flower, like a light blue. But I'm not sure if I'm confusing two things. Then I felt that you are close to a glass door and a chest, some tiles on the floor, but different colors. I can tell the different colors of the tiles. I think the closest room that you have is the kitchen. I'm not sure, but it feels very close. And there was a desk, white desk, but not the modern desk. It's more like a traditional wooden with drawers desk. That's what I saw. The pots and plants. Pots with plants. I feel the air. I felt the air flowing. I felt fresh.
The air,
Yeah,
freshness of it.
calmness as well. But I could feel like a breeze, not breeze because it's not a breeze, but I could feel that it's ventilated.
Okay, right. Okay. All right. Okay. Well done, Claudia. Maybe one more person who wants to share, really urging to say, give it out, Go on, guys, you can do it.
All right. But someone can go after me as well. Only because Claudia just said, I had two things that were similar to Claudia. One was a painting right at the end. I couldn't quite work out what it was, but it was a woman. And in my head, I had girl with a pearl earring. That's sort of not that specific thing, but similar to that. And also like a white marble table or something marbly, or and they're sort of actual marbles, like little round glass balls. And then I have a photo, a yellow pen, and then a notepad or post-it notes or something.
Okay. Thank you, Lou. Thank you. Anybody else want to go?
The seat wanted you left.
Slowly they all are opening up, Yes,
yeah,
go on.
said something, and then I'm like, oh, I had something like this too. So I had also like a notebook and a pen or something like this. A cup, I think cup with tea, and the golden teaspoon was the first thing that came up. I don't know why that was coming up. A picture frame with, I think, a kid and you maybe, or something. I'm not quite sure. Something with soccer came up. I didn't see, but it was just something soccer related. The last thing I had was something like a cubic, like a pyramid, come in a pyramid shape or something, like really weird as well. like hearing a slice of cheese with holes and chocolate. I don't know if I'm hungry too. But
I think you got that vibration from Andrew because he's hungry at the moment.
yeah. I was like, what is this? Yeah, no, keys came through. Yeah, keys. Something from a handbag. I don't know. I'm not sure. And what was it else? A play card or something? I'm not quite sure.
Claudia, I think you are, yeah, you're stuck at the moment. I can't, yeah, you're not moving, so I don't know.
Yeah. You want to speak?
Yeah, I'll say something. I had a few interesting ones that are crossing over as well. So I also got a pyramid. I got a brass pyramid, but I guess it could have been gold. I also got a picture frame with a woman with earrings in it as well. And I got the feeling of it was smooth as silk. That's what kept coming to me, smooth as silk. So I thought maybe a scarf or something like that. Or a shawl, perhaps, and also some sort of stone. I could visualize a really smooth, sort of round, dark stone, and some sort of mini statue as well. And I didn't know if it was a mouse. I didn't know what it was, but I could sense a small sort of statue. Yeah, there we go.
Okay, well done, guys. Okay, anybody else before I could give you the reveals? Anybody else want to share? Come on, Yanni. I mean, these things are so interesting. You know, you'll just go wow with stuff that you'll receive. I mean, or rather than I'll just, when I give you the reveal, you'll be able to kind of say, oh, okay, well, that was the thing. Right, fair enough. Let's just not go into more suspense. All right, everybody. So I think what most of the people who kind of got was the pyramid. Okay, so I'll just show it to you. Okay. It's a pyrite pyramid. Okay. So yes, I do keep it really close to me. Okay. And yeah, I mean, I can imagine you actually came in to see it. Okay. It's not in front of me over here, but it's somewhere over here. But yes, you got it. Okay. So that's one. I think Andrew mentioned something like a white crystal. Okay. It's a selenite. All right. So anybody who got a marbly effect or something, okay, yes, it does have that effect. Okay. It's nice and polished. Okay. I think Lou got something as a dark crystal. I always have a dark crystal, which is nicely and polished. Okay. A ball. Okay. That is there. And I think a lot of people got something gold or something to do with gold, or even like earring or like jewelry of some kind. And the reason I was asking, like, if you could feel a certain emotion. Okay. Now, this is the bag for that thing that I hold. Okay, this is basically my this belongs to my dad. I don't know if you could see it properly or not, but this is something. It's also known as, in India, it's known as Rudraksh. Okay, you wear it around your, normally males will wear it around their neck. They can also put it around their hand and tie. This is of my dad. So there's an emotion there. That's the reason I was asking if anybody's getting any emotion to it. Okay, so yes, I'm connected to my father. He's passed a long time back. So that's even the gold of some kind, if anybody was getting any gold or something. So that's coming from there. I think a lot of people said flower, or maybe a lotus flower or something like that. These are beads, okay, and they come from a flower. Okay, so just to let you all know. What else? I think someone mentioned blue. Okay, so there's another blue, and I don't know, I think Claudia mentioned a fan. So I don't know, when we close a fan, like if we are the hand fan that we're talking about, it may become like a stick, isn't it? So you never know if that was something that you were even getting. But this is blue in color, by the way. I think the photo frame that you are looking at is my dad's picture. Well, it's not female, but a male, and it's very much in front of me at the moment. I can't really show it. Like I have to turn this thing off, and I do have a Buddha's. I have loads of statue in front of me, so I'll just show it to you. Or maybe I'll just turn the camera a little side in order to see. That's the statue you see. There's loads of stuff over there, and ooh, that's my dad's picture. There you go. Okay. So yes, we have my window is really close by. I'm not very close to the kitchen, but yes, I'm kind of close to the kitchen. It's all, this is not like on a heighted place. I'm very much in the ground floor, and my kitchen is in the ground floor itself. So that is that. Who else got what? I think someone got woody, isn't something woody. Okay, so this looks like woody. If you see this properly, it does have that woody kind of a feeling to it. So the brown woody kind of thing. Okay, someone got satin or something. If you look at on my altar, it is a satin thing that I've put up. Okay, so that's satin. Okay, so hey, how many of you got things correct? Okay, tick it. Tick it. Okay, know that you can become a remote viewer if you want to. All right, so well done all of you. It's done really well. Okay, so I think even the desk that I've put my laptop on is white. Okay, and I do have drawers and things like that of wooden that is at the back, so I do have that as well. I have a huge Buddha, and there's waterfall. I don't know if some of you can even hear the water, but there's a waterfall that goes by, and I have the Buddha. I do a lot of my work, mediumship work, through that, because mediumship works better if there is flowing, something like water flowing and things. It's easier. It's easier to pick things up at that point. So I work that way, and I have it in my room. So and most of my room is white, though you have this dark thing, but everything behind this camera is everything is white. So I hope that kind of helps. And yes, it's a nice and airy space, and I got loads of sunshine over this area. So I love, this is my therapy room. I love working over here. I meditate over here quite a lot. So no wonder you were also getting the calming feeling, because that's what this space really has. So yeah, I hope that helps. Okay, here I give you the information. Okay, I also got the whole, I think some people were saying brass. I don't have really cups, saucers or anything over here. I usually drink up from my bottle. I think a lot of people saw the bottle. I think the woman or anybody was feeling the woman. I have a little guy over here that I keep, but then this was already in display. I don't know even you all thought about it or not, and you just kind of gave information. So it could be even that. But I do have loads of plans. So I don't know if you could see that. There you go. So you got plants over here. All right. So I do have plants around me, and I have on the windowsill as well. So do have flowering plants as well around me. So I hope that helps. I would like I want you all to do is tick whatever that you got, even like a slightest like hint of colors that you got. Tick it. Okay. And raise hands that a person did not get absolutely anything to whatever that I just gave you. Okay, did not get anything out of anything that I gave you just now. See, I don't see in a single hand over here. So we all are psychic, you see. So I hope this helps. And yeah, I love these kind of little exercises. I do it a lot with my students, and they go, oh my God, I got this, and they go so excited. So I hope you got excited as well. So, okay.
It is exciting, but I think the main purpose for me is for people all of you to believe in yourselves, that to believe that you have the psychic abilities, and not necessarily because you don't work in this every day like Nikki or I. You do have it there. You have your abilities, and you can expand those psychic abilities daily by doing exercises, small exercises. Those ones from small children, they have it so naturally. Just help them to not to close it. So it's a fun exercise that you can do with them as well. I do it with my kids sometimes.
I also got my notebook. Okay, so anybody got notebook, and I do have pens as well. So yeah, so very close to everything. So in case I'm just making you tick more stuff, okay? But anyways, right, Claudia, up to you. What would you like to do after this now? Go on.
So, anyone else has more questions? Anything that you want to ask Nikki or any?
Maybe if I can ask,
Yeah.
I've been quite interested in remote viewing for quite a while, and I've got some books from I think her name is Laurie Williams, is that right? And I'd wanted to was thinking of signing up for the course for her, but it was financially not really available at this time. But what do you suggest if someone wants to tap into this and learn it, where to look for information? Or where's a good teacher that you can recommend, or do you do classes, or kind of like what is available there, because that is something that has been fascinating me for quite a while now.
Right, Claudia, I do take classes, but I recently started it already, and it is a year's course. So, and you get certified for it. Okay. I think there are loads of good ones out there as well, if I be honest. I think the best thing is try and if you really are looking for a teacher, look for someone who's done the work properly, professionally. Okay, so there are loads out there. I'm being very, very honest. Okay, and I think seeking for the right person is more like as if they've really done the work, or they know something about it, or they have done something officially, like professionally in a professional background. If they've done something, then I think they can engage into giving you a lot more information. But at the moment, I have already started. It's been 2 months that I've already started my new course. My upcoming courses will come up, and if you need any information, I might just share it with Claudia, and then she could obviously pass it down to you. But so I teach something which is known as expansion of consciousness. It basically taps into absolutely everything. So remember one thing, it's not just one avenue that you're in. Okay, you will literally go into plenty more. So in remote viewing, channeling is another one, telepathy is another one. You will also there will be times where mediumship can hit in at that time as well. So if you're not a medium, or you feel like you can sense and feel things and those things, and medical intuitiveness. So I also do medical intuitiveness, means scanning a person's body and just knowing where the problems are. Okay, so without the person knowing, it's like, I'll give you an example, a blocked artery. Okay, unless and until a major issue has happened, it's really hard for a person to really understand if there's a blocked artery. But with medical intuitiveness, which is part of psychic awareness and also remote viewing. So in remote viewing, we also have do a medical RV, which is medical remote viewing for a person. And we'll we're almost like we become the person, okay, and start sensing and feeling, and we know where the problems are, why the occurrence of this problem, what is the reason behind it. It actually helps you greatly in order to help someone with the problems, and also kind of helps you managing the problem, the root cause behind it. Sometimes medications is not the really root cause, it's just suppressing it down. Okay, but the root cause behind it could be something which is even karmic. Okay, so working with that, so those kind of stuff. So so my course name is Expansion of Consciousness, and it's a year's program, and there are 6 modules altogether, and I think you'll enjoy if you kind of are interested in it. And but otherwise I will just say that look for somebody. If you're looking for someone, just say specifically only remote viewing. Kid you not, if you get into remote viewing, you'll get into other things as well and vice versa. Okay, so you'll be able to kind of tap into absolutely everything. Okay, once you get into one avenue, you'll go into the rest of it as well. So I hope that helps.
Also, because I think majority of in the group, they are constant. They are into that. What you say, they understand. They're very open-minded. They understand from other beings, astral beings, parallel, everything that we spoke today, parallel timelines, the power of the mind, energy, so on, quantum physics. And I believe that more that you do the work, for example, for those ones who comes every month to the group sessions, more than you do the work, more you create the vibration and energy within you. So you are building up. Sometimes you might feel, oh, nothing happened, nothing is happening in my life, but you're building the power within. So you come, you have an experience last week that we have the in-person group session, but you're building that power within, and that power is expanding, and this energy is expanding. So then it will be easier for you to understand or get into astral projection or remote viewing, because your power is expanding. So it's easy to absorb everything else at the same time. So it is an ongoing work. It is not one avenue, as Nikki said. It is so many avenues that we can get to many places. But the bottom line is about getting to know ourselves, getting to get rid of all the obstacles that we have and belief systems that no longer serve us, to go to the next level, or that consciousness, getting to know the consciousness that we are, because we are that consciousness already. It's just to remembering and getting to know it again, how to deal with it. And this is with practice and practice and practice with the master and building the power. So a lot of things you might not see it, the effects immediately, you might not see it physically, but the power is expanding. So more that you do all this in all these different ways, the vibration is becoming higher, that everything else that is above, like all the beings, your guides, spirit angels, start, easy for them to get through, to connect with you. Or the expansion of yourself as well is start easy to get that connection with others. The telepathy become easier because your energy and the power that you're building up with all this work that you're doing is becoming stronger and stronger. So thank you so much, Nikki.
Thank you.
I think today, because I'm conscious of the time, I'm not going to do the hypnosis, because it will take us another 45 minutes, and I think we'll be too late, and I'm just conscious of Nikki's time as well. But I think it was very enjoyable and really loving it, everything that you say and everything that you share, and the little exercise as well. So on behalf of everybody, thank you so much for your time. If you want to share here in the chat your website, and obviously if anyone has any questions, you can ask me and I can pass directly contact details to Nikki too.
Sure. I think should I share my you guys can be part of my group in metaphysics. I kind of share, I'm a little discreet into what I should be sharing, because Facebook is also kind of censored. They censor quite a lot of stuff as well. So I am on Telegram group as well. I think what you could do is, maybe I'll just share certain things over here. Give me 1 second. Yeah. Let me just share the.
And well, Nikki's doing that. Thank you as well. If everybody can share the work that we do or the work that Nikki does, or anyone that you feel that you connect with as well, because I think if we can help all these souls to get to the golden light or the golden era, and not so much to the steel era, as Nikki was mentioning, will be, that's a lot of work and help that you do to others. So thank you.
So, I mean, I'll be very honest. I think a lot of people over here, I mean, especially you've got such an amazing group over here, Claudia, so thank you once again for making me part of this group and being able to share my information or whatever experience or whatever that you wanted to know. I think at the moment, it's very important for us to all understand that we are in a space where a lot of people are opening up. Don't get yesterday I was having my meditation group, and I was actually just telling the meditation group all about this, that it is really hard at times for not to kind of hold space for people who don't understand these things. So you're either kind of pushing them off, saying that, you know, you don't understand, or this or that. I think even holding space for them is required for us, because you all are so open over here. So try and look into the ones who maybe even need that help to bring them up. You don't have to, obviously have to push them to understand anything, but I think just that holding the space, that I understand where you are from, and but I'm here for helping you out in whatever way that I can. So even if that person is slowly engaging into understanding certain things, you know, put that space out, because you all have such amazing heart-centered energies, and heart-centered energies can only, I can just tell you one thing about heart-centered energies, is that there's a healer in you. There's a person who's there to help and put in service. Okay, it's very much within yourself. So I think we all can become those torch and allow those others who maybe are not completely understanding certain things to come along and kind of show them the path. Maybe not lead them fully, but at least show them the path. So that is what I will just say. So my Instagram handle, I'm just kind of typing it over here so that you all have it. It's Tranquility with Nikki. And in the Instagram handle, you will have basically, you will get absolutely everything. So you will get your, my email address you can receive. You can also go onto my Facebook and just be part of the group if you want to. And and I would love to kind of connect with all of you. So thank you once again. So thank you, Claudia, for giving me this opportunity.
Thank you. And I hope it's the first one of many more. And thank you very much for your sharing your wisdom, your experience, your stories. And thank you everybody for making the time and participating today, and your energy and supporting. And thank you so much. And hopefully see you next month.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Have a great
Thanks,
time,
Nikki.
everyone.
Thanks, Claudia.
Thank you,
Thanks,
Nikki.
everyone.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
Have a good night.